Hey guys, thanks for stopping back by the channel. Kind of an interesting video today. It's gonna be about tools I've made or modified. Um, I've probably done some others I can't really think of immediately. Maybe there'll be another one that pops up and I'll add it to the video. But this random pile of stuff is actually all tools I made or modified for a specific purpose. I'll go over each one kind of briefly in this video right after this. So tools and made and modified. We'll just start right off with this one. And yes, I know Lyle makes a extended die grinder bit. I'm aware of that. I have made this one. This is for cleaning thermostat, where housing goes on the block, or any kind of hard to reach place. And what it is it's a piece of 1/4-inch round stock. I think it was some kind of tent spike or something when I got it. As you can see, it's lots of point on it, but I just took a 1/4-inch. It's 1/4-20 on these arbors, you know, 1/4-20 die, and just threaded that. And it screws right in, like so, and tighten it up, and it fits perfectly in my die grinder. So that's one, and again, cost me pretty much nothing to make. Most of these tools actually cost me very little, nothing to make, just because I have the parts laying around, and for you to make them, it probably won't be super expensive. Next one, and I'll do a little, this will be a series of tools that are kind of meant for doing engine work. This is a long punch. I'm out of a bolt. I can't remember exactly what the bolt was. There's probably some kind of bushing bolt because of all the grooves cut out so it doesn't season the bushing. Well, is I ground the head down on the bench grinder just like this to fit in a very specific freeze plug. You know, put a tape around the other, and it was either in the, I think it was something on the car maybe. I had to reach between the exhaust manifold, or maybe it was in the valley. I can't really remember. It was a Toyota engine though. It was I want to say it was a 2AR Toyota engine. But I have used this punch for all kinds of other things, and long bolts, you know, old head bolts, bushing bolts, they make great punches. You know, just make sure to grind off any sharp edges and make yourself a punch. This one, and this is gonna be kind of hard to, I don't know, you can see that. You can see there's a hole drilled down the center. Then with the end mill, there's a step cut, and where's that Mac screwdriver at? I'm trying to find something to point with here. You see that there was a hole drilled, and then there's a step right there to drive the seal, and there's a step that sits in the mill by a seal, and this bottom tag against the head. This is for driving valve stem seals on lots of engines. Whoops. Once again, specifically Toyota engines, but it does work on others. This is just made out of a piece of aluminum round. You can see I didn't even mill I just end hole faced it. That's it. This next one, yes, you can buy these. This one I just made, and it's a little bit smaller than some of the ones you can buy. It's a small slide hammer for pulling out seals. Wow, I'm just dropping things between the tripod today. You can use a drywall screw. I just have this wood screw. Put it down there. Take your screwdriver, screw into a seal. Screw this bolt in. And you have a slide hammer to pull the seal out. This is hodgepodge of things. This is a little drain plug that actually had a hole in it. I had a spring-loaded screw. Screw broke off. I got it out, put a new plug in. I had this in my junk drawer. Took the screw out, screwed it into this. This is a 1/8 inch MPT pipe fitting. And then I ran a 3/8 tap. That happened to be a right thread 1/8 MPT. Ran a 3/8 coarse tap through it. Screws on there. Can't remember what this tool's intended original purpose was. All it is, I just through drilled it. So it's turning on a lathe. Through drilled it, slide on the 3/8 bolt. And there you go. And I can always get a longer 3/8 bolt if I need a longer slide hammer, but this works for most things. Next tool, also if we're doing engines, is made out of yet another bolt, and I think it's 10 on 1.5 thread. Just stamped in the top, but you can see this bolt had a reduced diameter already. It only points out 10 mil, that one. I just ground those down on the bench grinder. You can see I might cut that bottom off too if I ever have to. So I just took first I did it with the Dremel and just and I took a triangular file to make the angle correct. But this is a thread chaser for head bolt holes. And it works really well. Because the thread chasers you buy, normally are about that long. And it's not long enough to reach the bottom of the hole. This will reach down to the bottom of the hole. So, yep, there's that one. These aren't really a tool per se, but they do work as a tool. These, and you can call me whatever you want. Like, I don't care, but however I can make my job easier, I make it easier. What these are is 6 on 1.0 threads. Cut the head off the bolt, round a taper on it, and if I have a oil pan, transmission pan, or valve cover that has some kind of form-in-place gasket or RTV silicone, I'll screw this in one corner, screw this in the other, and that gives me guide pins to slide the thing down, slide the cover down, so I don't smudge the silicone. Those work really, really well. And they're cheap. Free if you got a bolt in. This is a wheel peg. I can't remember the exact thread pitch. I use it for Volkswagen Audi. I'm sure it fits other Euros. Someone will tell me down in the comments. Again, bolt, cut it off, ground the taper on it. Used to be painted blue, but I've used it. Again, screw in, slide on. And if you're not familiar, European cars have wheel bolts. There's no studs to hang the tire on. This makes it a lot easier. These, again, are bolts that I just modified. I filed the end off. what's perfect about these is that point. So the threads actually start up here. And these are 8mm bolts for pushing off brake rotors and drums. You can see I mark them with the paint pen so I don't get them mixed up with project bolts. They just thread in and they're perfect for that. The advantage to this is they don't mess up the threads because it's pushing on just the bolt, not the threads, so that works great. Or you can beat them off with a hammer. The fact that I said beat it off with a hammer, if this is a monetized video, it'd be demonetized, so yeah. This is a socket. It's 7/8 or 22mm, roughly the same thing. Took an end mill, punched right through it. And what this is great for is struts. I don't own a pass-through socket set. I should get one. I can hold it at my bit socket. Fits right through the center of that. That motion kind of reminds me of something, but I'm not sure what. Wink, wink. I've used it for a couple other things. I can't remember every application, but what it is it's a 7/8 Proto socket. And this is actually a, yeah, you can just see the S though. Old snap-on socket of all things. Cut it off, chuck this in a lathe, turn it flat, 1/2-inch drive, TIG weld it on. So I can hold that with, a breaker bar ratchet and use another ratchet over here to tighten that up. Works really well. This one may not be as easy to make, but you can make them. And homemade tool belong to this video. This one isn't homemade, it's only modified. You can see this is a vacuum and low pressure gauge. I use a piece of 1/4-inch Daco polyline. Yeah, you can see it right there. Daco Imperial polyline. Just heat it up. Heat it up and pushed it over and put a squeeze clamp on it. This one just has a 1/4-inch compression fitting. And for a nozzle, or a nozzle, because that's what it is, tip. This is a RTV nozzle. That's roughly the same thread. I just put a lot of Teflon tape and cranked it down on there. Cut a small hole in the tip. And what this is good for is it fits in all different size hoses because it's stepped. So I use that a lot on a lot of different things. The other thing these work great for if you don't cut the tip, if you just have extra, is plugging off AT cooler lines when you do a radiator. Because again, it's stepped, it fits in all the different size hoses. Or small coolant passages going, in the block or intake. Or if you need a vacuum test on something, you can use these to plug off vacuum lines. It works great for all kinds of things. I keep a tub of these because we keep these in stock. Because, people let the RTV drive in the tip of the thing. The next tool is, again, I know Snap-on Blue Point makes one. It's not that expensive, and I might actually get it. This is a homemade aluminum pry tool. Just a piece of, I think this is about 3/4-inch wide. There goes that socket. Yeah, 3/4-inch wide aluminum. Probably 1/8 thick. I just bent it just a little bit. Put a round end on it, filed the you could do it with the die grinder. I have nice set files I got set up for aluminum, so I did that. You know, nice tip on it, flat chisel type tip on that. And this is great for prying off valve covers where you need a little more than the plastic trim tool, but you don't want to, you know, jam a carbon scraper or something in there where you could damage something. This works great for that. And I'll use this even for popping off trim panels because it's enough surface area. Just be careful. You know, wrap it in tape if you have to. You know, you can make all different shapes if you want. This is the one I found myself needing, so it's the one I made. These next 4 tools are a set, and these are terminal release tools. And you know, I got this. You know, I got the full set, you know, for, who makes these? I want to say either bullet connectors or weather pack, one of the two. But, you know, in this, again, someone will tell me in the comments what these are. I call them barrel connectors. But, you know, this has all the different terminal release tools. And this is cheap off eBay. And they work. You know, Delphi, weather pack, you know, all the different connectors on almost every vehicle. But working on imports, you know, Honda, Toyota, especially Toyota, these are the ones I found myself needing the most. This is for the wide, flat connectors, often found on grounds, high current switches, things like that. This one and this one are for the 2 common ones, styles. This one's just a little bit smaller version of this. And this one is just a bent, I wasn't even frame out thing. This is just a, for the 2 common types of connectors. And just a bent one for getting certain terminals out of. There's a couple terminal blocks that have small plugs and large, or small terminals and large terminals. And they're so close to the edge that it's easier to go this way and reach over the terminal and push it back and pull it out. So that's what this one's for. And these just have wood handles. Also, these are made out of windshield wiper stiffeners. As you can see, I keep a bunch on hand. All different widths. Whoops. Some of these are long, wide, thin, narrow. And it comes in handy for some of my other hobbies like lock sport. If, you know, that's recreational lock picking. I'll put a link to my other channel down in the description. That's all lock sport videos. So, yeah, these are all tools I've made or modified to do a specific job at some point, and I just kept them because a lot of them I use over and over. So, yeah, that's all I have for this one. Questions, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions and comments on this one. Leave them down in the comment section. I'll try and get back to you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.